Let's see, just the emergency.
Yeah, 892 East.
In what city?
Santa Fe, Utah.
What's the problem? Tell me what's happened.
I had my husband go make me some food downstairs. He just got home. I heard this big bang. I went downstairs, blood everywhere. I don't know if he's okay. I'm not down there right now because I have seizures. If I get stressed out, I'm going to seize.
Okay, do you know what happened? Did he fell? Or?
His head is bloody. There's blood all over the floor. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. I just heard this bang and I went down there. He's on the floor. And
what type of bang?
Huh?
What type of bang?
What type of what?
What type of bang? Like, was it loud, like a crash? Like something fell?
Like he fell, yeah. Send someone quick because I don't even know if he's, like, going to be alive because there's a lot of blood on the floor.
Is there any way you can go down there at all?
I'll try. I don't know. I mean, I can't.
How old is your husband?
42.
Okay, good. Somebody else that's taking out the ambulance. I'm going to stay on the line with you, okay?
Well, yeah.
Is there anyone else there with you that can go downstairs?
No.
Okay.
I've just been kind of sick and, like, I don't want to be traumatized right now.
Is he conscious?
I don't know. No, he was, like, bubbling at the mouth and stuff. Hold on a minute. Gary!
Okay. Do you know if he's breathing?
He's moving. I can hear him making noise.
You can hear him moving?
Mm-hmm. Gary, are you okay? Stay where you are. Don't move, Gary.
Can you tell him to put pressure on the wound?
Well, it's on the back of his head.
Okay, but he needs to still try and put pressure on the wound if he's talking to you.
Gary, you gotta put pressure on your wound. What happened? Don't, Gary, don't. Don't fall. No, Roxy.
Can you go where he is and help him?
He's lethargic. I can't really help him. I just need help quick.
Okay, I've got him on the way. I'm just trying to help you out until we get there, okay?
Okay. So I just can't be here with the blood. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't. I have my dog. Come on. Stay like that, okay? What is wrong?
Hey, so he fell while he was cooking, or what happened?
I don't know. I just heard this big... Yeah, I don't know what happened. He fell, and I don't know. Okay. And there was blood all over, and I can't do anything.
Okay. Where is he at now?
On the floor in the kitchen. And he's just sitting there. He's sitting up now, but he's like, nah. I mean, his head's all bloody in the back. And I can't drive because, like I said, I have seizures, and I've been sick, and, I can't do anything right now. And, Oh, my God. I don't even know what happened. I just asked him, can you go make me some food? And, and he's like, yeah. And he hit his head, and I don't know. I know it's from his head, though, because I looked at the back of his head and saw bloody and gross, and, so.
Okay. And what's your name?
Shannon Price.
Okay. And so he's conscious now?
He's conscious, but...
Okay, he is conscious.
He's not, with it. And I don't know if he had a seizure. I don't know if he just hit his head and fell. Because, he was kind of like... He wasn't, convulsing or anything, but you know what I mean?
Okay. Hold on one second.
I can't really get around as it is, you know what I mean?
Shannon, can you tell him to try and put pressure on the back of his head?
No, can't. It's all bloody, and I'm not trying to do. He's not with it. I asked him. I said, can you put?
Keep asking him until he does it, because he may not be able to understand what you're saying. So, is there any way you can go in there and at least give him a towel?
Hold on, yeah.
Okay.
I can try and find one for him. I'm just panicked. I don't know what to do. I'm over here dragging like a freaking crazy person. Hold on, let me try and see. When are they going to be here, do you know?
Okay, they're on their way. It just depends on where in the city they were when we called them out.
Hey! I just don't want him to die. I'm freaking out, really bad.
I understand. We just need to try and get some help, so we need to try and get that.
Stop bleeding. Don't move. Stay there, okay? You have to put this on your head. Oh. Keep pressure on this, okay? Hold this. And your body all freaking over. Don't move.
Okay.
I don't even know why you're standing. Here.
Tell him he needs to sit down.
You need to sit down. Sit down. Gary, sit down. What's wrong? Look at the floor. Sit down. Oh, sit down. Okay. You gotta sit, okay? And keep that.
Okay, can you check the front door? I have somebody that's just calling up now.
They can come in. Tell them to come in.
Okay. Just tell him to walk in.
I'm gagging. I got blood on myself. I can't deal.
Can you go to the front door?
They can come in.
I know, but I want you to go to the front door. If it's making you gag, I want you to go to the front door and open it for him.
It's open. It's open. He's going up now. I just can't stand very long without, you know.
Okay.
And I'm like panic stricken, and I
want you to let me know when the officers are with you, okay?
He's here right now.
Okay, then I'm going to let you go, okay, Shannon?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, bye. Bye.
And touching down in Santa Quinn, across the street right there, is the home where, in a sense, Gary Coleman died. He wasn't pronounced dead, but would die suffering that fall. And a pretty nice house, and a very, very cool backdrop with the mountain range here. I really, really dig it. Sometimes when you don't see mountains for a while, and then you see them, you know, a year later, you can kind of appreciate the scenery. Yeah. There it is. Now, Gary Coleman was conscious all the way from the time that the paramedics arrived to the home till when they brought him to that hospital over there. And the following day, on May 27th, he was making progress, according to the doctors, and it possibly looked like he was going to pull through. But later on that evening, Gary fell into a coma. And on the 28th of May, 2010, he sadly died. Thanks to the help of Shannon Price, his ex-wife, pulling the plug on him after only 2 days. Now, the doctors did tell her that he wasn't gonna make it. Now, you could have waited 4 or 5 days, but she went right to that plug, that wall outlet, and just ripped it out. This wackadoodle, you could tell during the 911 call how much she cared about Gary there. She pulls the plug. She doesn't even tell Gary Coleman's parents, you know, they stole a lot of money from him, but you still kind of want to know that your son is going to die. Maybe you want to be at the hospital with them, but for the last 20 some odd years, he had a very strained relationship with them, especially when he found out how much money they stole from him. So she pulls the plug, and then she sends a message to Gary Coleman's parents. And wow, this one weird broad, Shannon Price. So Gary Coleman had moved to Utah in 2005, and he was playing on a movie called Church Ball. It's one of those low budget movies. I think it's a little like a Mormon movie production company, and basically all of their movies are like, they're like family friendly and all that stuff. And he met Shannon on the set of that movie, and they had got married in 2007, and they would be divorced by 2008. However, they were still living together. And however, we have a problem with Gary Coleman's will, because in his will, Anna Gray, who was, I don't think it was the girlfriend, I think it was his manager, was the sole beneficiary of his will. Now, Gary Coleman didn't have a lot of money. His house back there at that time was worth about $315,000. I don't know how much money he had in the bank. He did have a pension from the Screen Actors Guild and whatever royalties and residuals he would get from the different strokes, along with whatever TV shows, other shows, movies, and so forth. So he was getting a check. It's not like this guy was flat broke, but compared to how big he was at the time on different strokes, which, by the way, that TV show basically saved Friday nights at NBC, because the shows at that time that were on were tanking, and then you get this little cute 11-year-old kid at the time, and then that show, I mean, I don't think people realize how popular, how much of a phenomenon that show was at the time. I mean, even towards the end of the show, I used to watch it all the time. I think by that time now, when I was watching it, it was on Saturday night. So he has some money coming in, and also Anna Gray is being the sole beneficiary. She's able to use his likeness for any future videos or documentaries or whatever, marketing stuff, making toys, who knows. However, Shannon Price shows the courts a letter, I forgot what the legal term is, a daddle or something, I don't know, stating that he wrote her a note saying that, no, Anna's not the sole beneficiary. It's you. I love you. I want you to have everything. Now, this Shannon Price broad, I know, I still say broad. Yes, it's the 1940s and I'm Frank Sinatra. So this broad, according to like friends of Gary Coleman, I don't know why she married him. She was, I think, 19 years old at the time they got married. It's not like this guy has a lot of money in the sense of him having been a very huge TV actor at the time. Now, he's retired. He could live off of the money that he's made for the rest of his life. And unfortunately, the doctors told him, basically, there was maybe a rumor that he had less than a year to live. He wasn't doing good, He wasn't doing good with the whole kidney thing. Now, when I first heard that he died, I thought it was from his kidney thing, because when he was born with a condition called nephritis that affects the kidneys. And by the time he was 5 years old, he had already gone and done a kidney transplant. And I think he did another one when he was 13. And because of the antiviral medication, the medication that you take, so your body won't reject the kidneys. Because of that medication, the doctors told the parents who had adopted him as a baby that he would never grow past 5 feet tall. So it's those medications that he was taking that stunted his growth. But it also made him a TV star. Yeah, so there's a double-edged sword right there. And so this guy, listen, by the time he was an adult, he was only 4'8". And you're kind of typecast as Arnold from Different Strokes. Now, he made other TV appearances. I think he was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air one time or another. But, nobody really wants a Gary Coleman guy. I don't know. I mean, maybe they could have wrote a show for him. I don't know. And you got to think, being only 4'8", but you're a grown man, it's got to be a confidence killer. He said on a online interview that he had, even though he got married to the Shannon Price broad, he was still a virgin. So, I don't know what it is with him and women. Listen, is a woman gonna fall in love with that guy physically, his attractiveness? Probably not. Sad to say. So they would have a court battle over the next, year or so. And these friends they're basically in the court as character witnesses, saying that Shannon Price didn't respect Gary as a man. She would treat him like a child. Instead of holding hands in public, it was like she was dragging him along like he was a toddler. And sex between them, forget about it. There wasn't any. They didn't have sex. They didn't kiss. There was no romance. There was no intimacy. There was nothing. They claimed that maybe she had married him for his money. She wanted to be an actress and a model. Sorry guys, I don't see any actress or model there. I don't know. I guess to each their own at the end of the day. So basically, the judge threw out that fake note. And the judge basically just told her, you're full of crap. You only married him for, I'm sure he didn't say that in the court. I would have if I were a judge. But no one would ever let me become a judge because I'm a scumbag, according to some. But I would have told her, you're full of crap. All the money is going to Anna Gray, which, later on she was entitled to his estate. And I kind of like to know, I'll put it on the screen if I find out, but I'd like to know how much he was getting for his pension. I mean, I was guessing maybe he was making about $5,000 a month, which, hey, for, being on a TV show, yeah, not a lot of money. I could be wrong. He could have been he's probably bringing in $100K a year. And whoever was the beneficiary, I think I've said beneficiary more times in this video than I ever have in any other video. I believe they would also get the pension. That is the hospital where he died. A lovely scenic view from some of those people's hospital rooms. And, not the best of life. Gary Coleman sometimes was a happy-go-lucky guy. Other times, you didn't want to be around him because he could be moody. And I can understand why. There was a point in time, I don't know if it was towards the end of his life, but there was a point in time where he had to have dialysis done several times a day. Now, it's already bad enough as it is if you have to go to dialysis twice a week, but can you imagine 3-4 times a day? I mean, that is honestly no way to live. And, I ain't gonna lie to you, I had no idea about that 911 call until about 2 days ago. I had no idea about this story. I thought he just died of kidney failure. But the question remains, and a lot of people are saying that Gary Coleman, who supposedly fell down a flight of stairs to the kitchen, that he might have had a loving push down the stairs by somebody that might have been home at that time. Now, I'm not saying that anybody did anything illegal or wrong. No, I wouldn't say that because I don't want to get sued. I already got a couple other YouTubers wanting to sue me. I don't need any more. But I'll say this: she was on a TV show on A&E. I don't watch TV, so I've never heard of the show. It's called Lie Detector: Truth or Deception. And the test was given to her by an former FBI agent. And basically, I guess you could say she failed the test because a couple of the answers, her answers were, it was indeterminate whether she was telling the truth or not. But there was some deceit in the other questions. So this broad, hey, listen, I'm not saying anything, but something's up. Something's up. Rest in peace to Gary Coleman. I don't know where his ashes are. He does not have a grave, in case you guys were wondering. But just a part of television history. A show that is still on, still being played in reruns, and a show that will always be funny for forever. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I have to make a trip about 5 miles away. Be good, y'all. Peace out.